Hello and welcome to Take 3 with PT. This is a YouTube series where I take 3 minutes to answer a biblical, practical, or theological question. Today's question is the vaccine the mark of the beast? The mark of the beast is referenced in Revelation chapter 13. And before I give a definitive answer, let me first acknowledge that there is fear in the air. And so to ask a question like this is legitimate because there is fear in the air. If you're watching the news, there is fear about the coronavirus. Now there are new strains, death counts are high, but on the other side of things, people are questioning everything. They're questioning efficacy rates. They're questioning science behind it. They're questioning political motivations. And so we have fear of death and we have uncertainty, and there is certainly fear in the air, and conspiracies flow out of fear. A second thing I want to acknowledge is there is actually a real earnest desire to tie current events to the biblical text. And I think this is a great desire. Here's the problem. It's twofold, actually. We can be really bad interpreters of Scripture, and we're horrible forecasters of the future. So when we try to forecast the future, we look at a figure like the beast or the Antichrist, and we make these predictions. And in church history, people have been making them for a long time. The Antichrist is Nero. The Antichrist is the Pope. The Antichrist is a certain king in a certain region at a certain time. The Antichrist is Mikhail Gorbachev. The Antichrist is Bill Clinton. The Antichrist is Donald Trump, and the list goes on and on and on. And every time we make one of those predictions and it doesn't come true, it proves that we're foolish. Now, our desire to try to match biblical text with current events, that makes sense. But we are terrible forecasters. We're also bad interpreters a lot of times. The book of Revelation is apocalyptic literature. So John, writing in the late first century, is writing in code and symbol and sign, and he's writing to a group of people who's suffering as persecuted Christians under Roman rule. And he can't directly say that, so he's using coded language. Even some of those numbers are coded numbers that apply to kings in those days because their letters attached to numbers. We're not always great at reading or understanding these codes. Now, that doesn't mean that apocalyptic language doesn't still point toward the future. It does. It just means when we read these symbols and signs, sometimes we have to understand that in John's context it made sense, in our context it doesn't. One other thing. If your concern is that the vaccine will put some sort of tracking device inside you, I just want to explain that you're already being tracked. The fact that you clicked on this link means you are being tracked. The fact that you carry around a cell phone means you are being tracked. If you ever use a loyalty card for a grocery store or a gas station, you are being tracked. We're being tracked all the time. It could be by menacing kings. It could be certainly by marketers. Most importantly, you are being watched by the maker of heaven and earth. And the book of Revelation helps you understand that someday you are going to see him, stand before him for judgment. That should be our real concern. And we should long for our Maker to say to us, "Well done, good and faithful servant." So is the vaccine the mark of the beast? I highly doubt it. If that's your reason for not getting it, find another reason.